The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Play fake. Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Completes this one to Meredith. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Red Delta!
They'll start the drive with Harris. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
You got tight right there. SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS, SOS. Left to right.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, Delta! 29 is Mike. 29. Hey, tighten down. Hey, Delta! 29 is Mike.
They go play action. Rivers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Left. Q.
6 guard. Check 6 guard. Check. Fresno.
Hey, I'm going to go load it. Load it.
Joker.
Red Delta.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Shift. Watch the shift. Shift.
Red.
They just got that play off. Now Rivers. Screenplay. Johnson. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Been a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch tight end.
Brissett sets to throw it. He gets it to Thomas. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 20-yard line.
It's a gain of 20. First down, New Orleans.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. 1st and 10 right at the 20. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. It's coming this way.
Here's Brissett. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead.
The score is Saints 7, Buccaneers 3. Will Lutz to kick off for New Orleans.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Get 180. Set 180. 12.
Here's Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Makes it 3rd and 2.
Set green 80. Green 80.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end.
Rivers on 3rd and 2. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check.
On the ground, this is Johnson. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the run.
Check 13. Check 13. Check. Wait. Check it.
They'll run it with Johnson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
29 is the mic. Hey, orbit. Let's go. 29.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Past the 20. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 16.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Good track, good track. Rush in, rush in. Behind.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at about the 31. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Time for our first check of the NFL scoreboard. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. From the 44, Brissett. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Block 11! What we got? Check 50, check 50. Deuce. Mike 36, Mike 36. You're not ready. Tighten up.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Rivers, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the 2nd half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd.
Hey, Rocket. Hey, team 6. Hey, Delta. Out. Check. Hey, go Orange. Check. Orange. Check. White, 89.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Running right, Jones. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Block the team!
Go, go, go!
Rivers from the gun on third down. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Brissett now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Brissett. Flush to his right. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. Big end. Switch. Wait. Cluster. Watch two.
To throw, Rivers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Third and 20, and no surprise, the defense in the dime.
Here we go. Hey, go orange.
On play action, Rivers airing this one out for Evans. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here we go. 45. Pittsburgh. 45. 3 buns.
From just shy of midfield, Brissett gets it to Meredith complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Back now in Tampa. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Brissett to throw on first. Gets this one to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A Saints first down there on a gain of 11. Brissett now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Henry. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's get it. Taco. Spons. Let's go. Come on. Shift. Truck.
Brissett. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
First down, Brissett. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown. And frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And this is going to be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Harris. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Bringing up 3rd and 12.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey, easy. Mike 27.
From the gun, Rivers. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Mike 45. Wrap it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. Brissett on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kendall Beckwith. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Brissett. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. Throwing, Brissett. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Looking to erase a 2-score deficit here in the 4th quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard and realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
36 to Mike. Let's go, D. Mike 36. Mike 36.
Now Brissett on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off at the 19. Thomas, the intended target. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Hey, Delta! Hey, I'm going to go load it. Load it. Hey, here we go.
They'll run again with Harris. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Mike 27, Mike 27, Mike 27.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Q. Hey, check Mike.
Rivers to throw. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun to give to Jones. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. That one good for 26 and a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Ramsey. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Bucs, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead they fall to 5-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems, only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up, name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up, 100 meals a week after.